we are back. We back, baby. Episode 28 of the PVC Podcast with your boys, Sam and Mike. Oh, and the names are right there. Got it. Sniped it this time. We back again with your boys. It's just us two. We chilling. We hanging today. We vibing. I feel like it's been a couple weeks since it's just been us. So we're back here chilling. And how you doing, Mike?
Pretty good. I'm repping Cyberpunk again today.
Oh, God. Dude. Looking yellow and naked with no hair on the face, just baby face, Mike. Looking 18 again. Got the fucking Cyberpunk on. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Yeah, we got a few things to talk about. Every time I'm like, shit, we got like 3 things, and then we chop it up, and then I'm like, oh shit, we got too much. But yeah. Oh, it was it's my birthday last what was that, Sunday? Whatever day the 24th was. I can't fucking keep up anymore.
I think it was Sunday.
So I'm 32 now. Just it feels the same as fucking 24. I don't know.
I mean,
it all feels the fucking same, man.
I feel the same when I turn 30. Like,
yeah, it all feels the fucking same. Especially last year, it didn't even exist. So I'm basically just everybody needs to just delete a year off their life because last year just did not exist. Yeah. So I just turned 31 basically. Yeah. Well, we'll get into. I had some friends over on the weekend too. We'll get into that. I had some drinks. But first, what'd you have to eat today, Mike?
I had the Popeyes spicy chicken sandwich, and let me tell you, man, that shit gave me the runs, bro.
I fucking knew it.
Like literally, like fucking, like. I think I ate it and I was like, damn, this shit hit the spot. I went to go to sleep, woke up. Oh, I'm bubbling. I go to the bathroom.
Bubbling. Bubble butt.
Yeah, bubble butt. Bubble guts. Yeah, but it was
Was
good.
it worth it though?
It's always worth it.
All right.
Literally.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters, as long as it's worth it. Because sometimes I remember like before pizza started, I'm convinced pizza is going out of fucking business. But like before it used to go out of business, they'd have I'd get pizza and they'd have like this garlic dip, and that shit would fuck me up. Like fucking just
what the fuck is
peeing
in
out
it
my booty hole.
that fucks you up?
I don't
much?
know. But it was worth it every time. I was like, I don't care. I know what's gonna happen, but this shit tastes so good, I'm gonna do it anyway. But when it's not worth it, you're like, all right, I'm never eating that again. But I had chicken as well. I had some fried chicken from the local grocery store and some baked mac and cheese that Heather made. Reheated it all up in the air fryer.
Ooh.
Came out.
Was the baked macaroni
chicken,
like crispy?
Yeah, it had the crispy edges, but the soft inside. I hit it with the Louisiana Crystal hot sauce. I hit it all with it. It's a good meal. Good meal. And then I had some tortilla chips as a little post appetizer, I guess. I keep forgetting we got some ice cream cake for my birthday. I should have had a slice. I forgot. We got the little Carvel ice cream cake with the crunch in the middle. You ever had that before? Yeah. That the half vanilla, half chocolate with the crunch. I'll probably have that after this pot. I have a little slice. Ooh. I keep forgetting I have it until usually Heather's home and she's like, I want ice cream. And I'm like, oh shit, we got ice cream. I always forget about the sweets. But yeah, I mean, I guess we can start with that since, it was my birthday this past Sunday, 32. I don't think that's a significant number for anything, but I'm here and alive. So that's worth celebrating, I suppose, or being happy about. I have my college buddies over. I usually have them over here like once a year. And didn't do that last year, of course. So we had him over this year around my birthday. It happened to just so be that it was around my birthday. That wasn't really the plan. It was just a not the summertime because I'm on the second floor of an apartment. And when you get 8, 9, 10 people in here and we're all fucking gaming and talking and sweating, it gets fucking hot. It gets hot. I mean, it was Sunday and we had, I don't know, I had like 9 people over and we ended up turning the AC on because it got so fucking hot up here because it was just a bunch of human heat.
You rarely turn the AC on, right?
Yeah, I mean, unless it's like really hot, we don't really ever turn it on. And it hasn't been on since, I mean, for a few weeks. Granted, I think it's been a little too warm. It's finally getting hoodie season, finally. But it's fucking November, basically. It was hot all of October. But yes, we had some people over, and it was cool. We were playing some games. We played some ItMeSheesh. That game is silly. I had some local ItMeSheesh games, which was cool. Then they were playing some fighting games. They played some Tekken 7. They played some GG Strive. It was cool. It was cool. And then we played some board games. It's one game called Chameleon. Basically like trying to just lie to your friends kind of game. We played Coup, another game, trying to lie to your friends kind of stuff. This was the real highlight. The food. The food was the highlight. So, Hotsammysliz came through, made a pot of collard greens. Delicious with the smoked turkey. Had a pot. Heather made some baked mac and cheese. Delicious. And then I made like 40 wings. I made half.
God damn.
I made half lemon pepper and I made half hot. And they ran through. There's no lemon pepper left. And there was only like 3 hot wings left. So they ran through it. And it was the first time I probably ever made like that much food at once. It was fun. It was cool. I had the rotation going in the air fryer. I did it all from scratch. Bought the 2 big bags of just wings frozen, thawed them out the day before, hit them with the flour or hit them with the dry rub, the flour, and then it was looking like goddamn Breaking Bad meth house the way I was rotating the wings in on the different racks. It was like 4 or 5 different cycles because I could only put like so many on the rack at once. Because I tried to do 2 racks at once. It wasn't right. It was cooked, but the crisp on that bottom rack wasn't right. I was like, I can't cheat like this. I got to do 1 rack at a time. But it was good. I have a picture of it. I'll post it somewhere. Maybe that'll be the fucking thumbnail. Maybe on Spotify or something. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool, man. Hanging with people again. I know both of us are fairly introverted, but like when you go a whole fucking year and you just don't see humans for a while, you're like, wait a minute. Maybe that's actually a part of our existence. We're supposed to do that. So it was nice. It was nice seeing them again and hanging out with my college buddies. And it was cool. And speaking of also dealing with humans, I don't think I mentioned it last pod, but the
convention?
Yeah, I went to Too Many Games. That was 2 weeks ago, I think. I don't remember if we talked about it. I don't think we did. Maybe we did. No, I don't think we did. And that was cool too. It was fucking packed, man. Nerds are trying to get the fuck out the house. They're trying to get out, man. They're like, look, I know we've been gaming. We had a lot of free time, but like, fuck. And fucking everything is up. People spending, everything is fucking expensive. I mean, that's just kind of the case of the world, I guess. But like, even, resale, retro, everything's fucking expensive. I just got a hat. Oh, no, I think we did talk about it because I was wearing the new hat. The hat with the 3 cats on it. Yeah, so we talked about it a little bit.
But wasn't it brief, though? It was kind of like brief.
Yeah, I think it was just it was kind of brief. But yeah, it was cool. And I'm excited to we're going to be going to MagFest. That Heather and I are going to be going to MagFest. And that's going to be exciting. We got a room in the convention center this year. I haven't been room there in probably a few years. So that'll be exciting to be there. And again, like everybody I know who like goes to Mag, I'm like, hey, are you going to Mag? They're like, fuck yes. Because there was no Mag last year. So they're like, yes, I'm going. It's been too long. So yeah, that'll be exciting. But yeah, just being around people is, you forget that it's like it's a part of human nature. Like humans are meant to be in a community society. We're
still hate
communicative
people,
beings. Yeah, I hate people I don't know. That's the thing. I hate people I don't know. If I don't know you, don't talk to me. I don't want to talk to you. Which, I mean, I guess that kind of goes into what we were going to talk about with being back to work. We're working, being around people.
Oh man,
This is the times when I don't want to be around people. But you're back to work now, right? This is your first week.
I'm already about to quit. I'm about to quit.
So how was that? Getting back to the workforce, if you will.
It was okay. First day was delivery day for us, so all the product comes in. I say product, it sounds like drugs. But all the shit comes in and the whole day we're busy just, stocking stuff, and we like the stock and shit is in a basement, right? So we have to like constantly go up and down stairs all day. And then the basement's fucking hot as fuck. It's so hot down there.
Yeah, you're in New York, man. That place is just hot. Dude,
it's
like
hot.
And no matter what the temperature is, like if you're even like a mile outside or like an hour outside of Jersey compared to New York City, it's like a 15-degree difference. It's ridiculous.
Really?
It's just hotter. I don't know, man. It just feels like it's always fucking hotter in New York, unless it's brick cold. It's either two extremes. There's no middle in New York.
Yeah.
It's either really fucking cold or really fucking hot. One or the other.
Yeah, and then like on top of that, you got to wear the mask all day.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
that doesn't help either.
That actually exerts me faster. So
yeah,
because one, I'm already out of shape. Two, I got the mask on, so it's like, I got home. Asthma. Yeah, and then asthma too, and then I fucking got home and was mad sore. I had a bad Charlie horse in my leg. I literally woke up at night with a Charlie horse, bro.
Oh, that is the worst, man. That is the worst.
And then on the third day, they were like, "Oh, we're gonna retrain you for cashier because you're gonna do a cashier on Thursdays all day." And I'm like,
"Oh man, what is it? How many hours is that? 8?
8 hours." I was like, you know what? I think I might just leave again. I was like, you know what? I think I'm about to just leave again. Maybe give it another week. Nah, I mean, I can't afford to do that, but I definitely want to, because I don't want to do it. So I'm looking for remote jobs now, seeing what happens, but I'm done with retail, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I can tolerate retail, but fast-paced retail in a grocery store,
nah,
I don't want to do it. Can't do it no more.
You got a line out the door, and they're looking at you like, you're like, fuck, man.
Nah.
This machine only goes so damn fast, and now this lady's paying with 5 nickels, 37 pennies, and fucking 8 quarters, and now you want me to speed up? I can't even count this shit. Now COVID and these nasty ass hand coins. No, fuck it.
And then because it's a family oriented store, so things are not done by the books.
Yeah.
So like when we have Uber orders, like, so we have a freezer in the back of the store. Fridge. No, it's a freezer. So we have a freezer in the back of the store, and then we have a fridge downstairs in the basement. So it's like, okay, they're like, when Uber comes, you need to go get the bags for the orders. So they're like, so frozen's in the back, right? Then you got to get the cold stuff downstairs, and the dry stuff is behind the counter. And I'm like, how do I remember all that? It's like, it's just too much. Like, There's too much going on at this store and nothing is convenient. It's
Yeah.
like you gotta walk up these stairs all up and down all day to do stock. You gotta go all around the store to get Uber bags, and it's just like the store is not even big. It's small. Like
Yeah, I mean, it's New York. It can't be that big.
it's a small store, and it's like my brain is just like I can't do this shit no more, man. Like being 30 is not like being like 25, 26.
No, it ain't.
Like,
8. Your body will remind you how old you are. Your brain may forget. Your body does not.
exactly. Yeah, because I was like, a couple of years ago, this was fine. But now I'm just like, I'm not with this shit no more.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, same thing with me. I actually was so like I have some stuff I want to do before the end of the year, but I was like, man, because I think it was either this week or last week, I had like a fucking 12-hour day or some shit, and then I had to wake up again the next day at like 7 or something, and then that was like a 8 or 9, 10-hour day. And I got home and I was like, look, I'm about to fucking end it right now, all of it. Like, fuck this. So I was like, I might want to even do like a part-time thing with my current job, because it's like, I don't. It's like the older you get, the more like valuable time becomes.
Yes.
So it's like, yeah, I'm making money, but like, what if I have no fucking time to do anything? Like, who cares?
This is why I'm like, this is why I'm fine with part time now, because I don't think I'll ever, maybe that's not the right word, but for a long time, I don't think I'll be doing like full time retail, because you know, I got the side gig. Like, I don't want to. I'm not devoting my life to any of these jobs.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly. Yeah.
No way.
And that's it. That's exactly where I'm at too. It's like I'm doing this job. It's like I go in, I do some shit for another person, I get a check, and I go home. It's like, cool, the job is fine. But it's like, dude, if I'm putting in 60 whatever hours a week and there's no like fucking growth for my life, like if I leave this place, that's it. There's nothing that I'm keeping, you know? Like, it's just over. So it's like, man, I might just, I might end up maybe in like January or February, because basically the end of this year, get through this year, and then I gotta make sure I got enough for a Steam Deck. But then I'm going to MAG, and there's like a couple other things. So it's like, be good on all that, and I might just switch to part time as well. I'll be able to put more time into this. Actually, because that's the thing too, is I do enjoy streaming when I'm streaming, but like when I'm after a fucking 10-hour day, I'm fucking tired, and it's like, yeah, I'll wake up at 6 tomorrow. It's like, I can't even like, I can't even start stream and be excited about it, because I'm just thinking about how soon I have to turn it off to go to bed to wake up and not die while I'm driving the next day.
I hate that. I hate it.
Yeah.
The commute to work too. Bro, I just want to work from
God.
home, bro. I just want to
Oh my God. I saw your fucking tweet. I was like, yes, man. This man is out of his mind. Ubering in New York to work. You are crazy.
Yeah.
You are out of your goddamn mind.
I was like, you know what? All right, I'll take one ride to work and I'll take the train home. Yo, the first day, I was like, there ain't no way I'm taking the train right now. I'm calling another ride. I was like, I'm calling another fucking car. And then like the next morning, I'm like, I don't feel like taking the train. Let me just call another car. Like, I did that shit like 2 more times, and I was like, all right, that's it. Like, my bill was like fucking $600.
Oh my God, dude. Fuck traveling in that fucking godforsaken city. Dude.
You know what's funny? Like, every ride I took there, it's like the driver was always like sucking your teeth over and over again.
Yeah, fucking
driving
pissed
to the
off,
fucking
man.
city is annoying. I know,
dude. I hate it. I hate it, man. Whenever I have to do a job in New York, if it's like in the city, I'm like, fuck. God damn. Like, there's been a couple times where I've had to go, like, honestly, if I have a job in Manhattan, it's not that bad, because I'm not going through the shit. I just get there and I stop, and then I leave. leaving usually sucks because the fucking getting through the tunnel or the bridge, but like coming in isn't usually that bad. But like it's when I got to go through Manhattan to get to somewhere else, and it's like fucking hell, dude.
Yeah, all the traffic, bro. Like,
it is terrible. It is terrible. Yeah. But yeah, it's like it's tough, man. Because then like I tweeted I think you replied. I'll like wake up because I'm not too much of a morning person, but like once I'm up, you know, my brain's going or whatever, and I drive a lot for work. Usually you have like at least an average of an hour to an hour and a half to and from my job. And I'm fortunate in the sense that my commute is a part of my pay or my hours. So
you're lucky.
So yeah, so that's a part of the hour. I mean, granted, I get paid basically like salary, but those hours like I could use for, you know, taking off if I have overtime or whatever. Which is nice. But like I'll be driving and I'll be like, oh man, I got a sick idea for this. I want to like work on this. When I get home, I'm gonna cook this up. I'm gonna do this. Like I write it down. And then fucking 10 hours later, I get home. I'm like, fuck. What was it?
Yeah, when I came
play
home,
some games, I'm just go to bed, man.
When I came home, I didn't even like. I just went to sleep. Like,
yeah,
didn't even play anything. I didn't even bother. I just
you were like you didn't even play anything this week. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's rough. It's rough, and like, there's always, oh man, you know, full-time content creation, and it's tough. It's by no means am I ever saying it's easy to be a full-time content creator and you be able to live off of it. But I feel a lot of times that half and half grind gets overlooked, especially if you're doing that half and half grind and you break through. Like that shit is rough, man. Like basically two or more jobs. Because being a content creator isn't just booting up a stream or uploading a video. There's so much other shit that goes into it of engagement and communication with others and collaborations and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And all that stuff is just more time, you know? But yeah, that's where I guess both of us were this week. And I was actually hanging out with Kevin. Because I was in his area for one of my jobs, and I just hit him up. I was like, "Yo, I'm in the area." And then we went out to a pub. We grabbed some food. I had a burg and some waffle fries and a cider. Ooh. And it was cool. And we were just talking about like just in general, you know, life work balance. And I hate that term, life work balance, because it's like my life is constant. Like my life doesn't stop when I go to work. I'm still living.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, just cut half of that off. It's just work now. That doesn't make any fucking sense. It should just be life balance. Just let me live a life. It's you gotta cut half of it out. It's like, oh, but you know, you only work 8 hours. That's a lie because most people don't get paid for their commutes. And that's work, which I think is bullshit, honestly. There's whatever your commute is, your employer should be aware of that and should be fucking paying you for that shit. Because that's fucking time.
If you're taking the goddamn MTA every goddamn day where it's like...
How long does it take you to get to work?
2 hours.
What? What?
This is what I'm saying. Like, I gotta wake up. My shift starts at 11. Well, on Tuesday at 10. I gotta wake up at 7. I mean, no, I gotta wake up at 6. And then leave at 7.
Dude, that's a 12-hour day.
Yeah, you see, like I don't know how
that's what
long,
I'm saying. And I
don't know how much
that's
longer
what I'm
I
saying.
can do this, bro. I don't know.
And that's exactly what I was saying. When I get home and I'm like, that's literally half a day gone. If I'm supposed to be getting the right amount of sleep, 6 to 8 hours, all right, so what does that leave me? I got to get home, get dressed, shower, eat, do the normal human things. And then how much time do I have?
Bro, I don't even shower when I get home. I go to sleep and I shower when I wake up.
That's what I'm saying. But that's still time, right? Then that means now you're beginning of your day, add another hour to it. So all right, cool. That was a 13-hour day. It's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. I don't have a solution to it, but man, we got a platform to fucking talk about it. So that's what we're here doing. But yeah, that's I mean, that's kind of always my week. And keeping, I don't know, what keeps you still doing shit? What keeps you still wanting to create?
If I don't
hard.
create, then I'm gonna feel like I'll be stuck at this job forever. So I need to keep building on top of what I've created, because then I'll never get the fuck out of that hole. Never.
Yeah.
So, and for me, what I'm doing could take me to other places. That's why I'm looking for, other jobs, because it's like doing this has given me new skills that I can use for other jobs. So it's just a matter of time. But once I get one of those jobs, that's it. I'm leaving retail. That's it. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah. For it's such a weird thing for me, because it's like well, we were mentioning that before. Like, I try to usually keep my work and play stuff separated. And even though streaming, I make a very small amount of money from it. I did do it full time last year, and I've done that before. It's work, but it's still like play. I mean, I'm literally playing video games.
Yeah.
So like, for me, having done the whole college and computer science and degree and all that stuff, there's still this kind of divide that's like so hard to split between for me. And it's like, I trying to be like, all right, well, just cut. It's basically like I have a safety net of doing a tech job, and it's like, well, I can just always just fall and rely on that. And it's like so hard to cut that off and be like, no, especially when I don't hate the actual things I do. Like, I hate the fact that I have to have a 12-hour job, like, or 12-hour days sometimes. Like, that fucking sucks. But when I'm actually doing the work that's related to it, I don't hate that, right? Like, I like messing with cables and doing network stuff and computer shit. Like, I still like that shit. So when it's like easy, as in like, oh, I could just do it, whatever. I don't have to worry about failing it. Like, I'm good enough at it to where it's like, I'm not going to fail at it, right? Unless I just straight up decide to not show up to work kind of shit. The work I do is not like, well, you're going to get fired because it's not good enough. Like, I know I'm good at my job kind of thing. But trying to just cut that off and be like, well, let me just focus on something like this is hard. And I feel like, I don't know, I don't feel like I ever hear too many people talk about that. It's usually a lot of folks in your kind of situation where they're doing a job and it's like, fuck this. I just want to get out of here. And that kind of motivation helps you to keep doing your creativity, because you're like, I don't fucking care about this shit I'm doing for 8 hours. I don't know, maybe my case is kind of rare, because it's like, other than the fact that I'm spending a bunch of time, I don't really hate this. I guess I have been in your situation, though, when I was at basically all my other jobs before this one. I basically hated what I was doing. Well, except for the one where I worked at my college, but I wasn't really into content creation or anything then. But basically every job after that or before that, I ended up hating at some point. They were all tech related, but I hated them a lot more than this one. So I had a lot more drive to do that stuff. So it's tough trying to find a balance of like, well, one, I don't want to fucking die because I drive for work. I don't want to fall asleep at the wheel or some shit again, like I already have before. But yeah, trying to find that balance of, I care about this stuff and I want to do this. Basically, podcasting is pretty much the passion. But wait, there was something I saw. There was a tweet I saw. Man, I don't think I added it to my bookmarks. I really should have, though. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Did I add it to my bookmarks? No, I don't think I did. But it was like somebody dropped off mics for for black people, like they dropped off crack in the 80s.
What the fuck?
I was like, it's like every black person I know is out here podcasting. I was like, I mean, kinda.
I mean,
granted, I think the field we're in specific, or I guess I should say the topics we're in is kind of different. We're a bit more of a pun intended black horse as far as gaming space goes. But like just podcasting in general, a lot of black people are getting into it. But honestly, I'm all for it. Like more of us doing shit that's fucking legal. And
honestly, I'm looking into a career in podcasting eventually.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I definitely want to do that.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I enjoy this stuff and, you know, all this stuff I put on. I would love to do it, to have a job in that field, but it's like, it's so tough for me to find a job that is in that field, but isn't like so corporate and I could share what I'm into without being like, why didn't you do this at work? You were too busy doing that other shit. Like you were saying, like people at your job know what you do. Like I keep that shit out. And all my jobs I've ever had, other than like when I worked at college, because it was kind of a mix of school and whatever, all they know is that I fucking play video games. Because I don't ever want there to be well, you took off because you wanted to stream Monster Hunter.
Oh,
and
yeah, you know
you
what's
didn't come into
funny?
work. You were just stream. It's like I don't ever want that shit to come up ever.
What's funny is that because I share so much with some of my coworkers, even my boss, at least one of my bosses, because he used to be a big gamer, so I would talk to him a lot about that stuff. So, like I said before, I would come into work really tired, and he'd be like, "So, what were you playing last night?" And I'm like, "Oh, I just got Dragon Quest 11. Yeah, that shit was good. It was a really good game, man. Yeah. So I'm gonna go get to work now, but yeah, I'm tired. Yeah. Damn games. But even now, I told them what I do, but I said that because I wanted them to know why I'm specifically working part-time. And why they better not change my schedule. Keep it the way it is. Because if you try to change it, I'm not having it. So I need a scapegoat, you know?
Yeah.
I hope they don't find this pod because I want to quit. I just went there and I want to leave already. And it's not the people there because I love them. They're like a second family. But it's like the job itself, I hate it now. Like before it was like, it's okay, I'm making money. Now it's just like, now that I had a whole year to just like work home, now I don't want to do it at all.
Dude, and that is exactly why so many of these businesses, like I see now hiring signs every single day I go outside. And it's like that last year, people were like, look, wait a minute. I'm getting fucked over.
Yes.
Wait, I'm getting fucked over. And now I don't have to get fucked over. And you want me to go back to getting fucked over again? No.
Yeah.
I figured out this self-employment. I figured out this crypto. I figured out this content creation. I figured out something.
Almost every fucking office job does not need to be done in person. Like,
yep. And
unless you're like developing a video game or some shit, you don't need to work in person. Like,
yeah,
I would say for video gaming, there needs to be more
camaraderie, like between the people,
like communication. Yeah,
communication. Yeah,
but for like if you're doing fucking data entry in the office,
like data entry or like accounting or some shit.
Yeah,
just give me the numbers. I'll plug it in the sheet and then give you it, and I go home. Stay home. Yeah. I would love to find something that's work from home, but for me, it's like I like hands-on when it comes to technology, so it's so hard to find. Like I can troubleshoot and stuff. I mean, I do it with probably. I mean, I've helped you with computer stuff remotely, or what. I do it a lot, but I definitely like being hands-on with actual hardware and shit. And that just like you can't really do that from home unless people are bringing shit to you. But
Yeah.
that's hard as hell to find as well. But yeah, that's fucking working in content creating. It's not easy. I don't think anybody ever said it was, but it's definitely not easy. And honestly, keeping motivation with that stuff is tough too.
It's it's really tough, but like I don't know. It just gives me motivation because
Yeah.
even with the way I am on Twitter, for example, I've been trying to use that as a way to get maybe a social media management job because I feel like I'm not. I mean, I'm not an expert at it, but I feel like I can garner an audience on there. So it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, I think I know what I'm doing. I mean, I did it on both Facebook and Twitter. So
Yeah. I mean, you literally rebuilt your whole Twitter. And now you have more followers than you had before or whatever. I would say you have more engagement at least, if not more
yeah,
followers.
yeah.
Which is more important, honestly. So yeah, that's a prime example right there. Of and that's the thing with that kind of stuff, because it's like for me and like streaming, like there's a I'm sure a laundry list of skills I've developed over the fucking, I don't know, 8 years I've been doing this, right? But I can make a resume of all the corporate stuff I've had, and I could put it down, and it's like boom, boom, boom there. And then when it comes to this, it's so hard for me to like materialize that stuff of like, yeah, I've streamed for 8 years and I've hosted shows and done a podcast. And it's like, well, what does that mean? I don't know, man. Just like give me the job and I'll just do it.
Okay, okay. That's how I felt. I felt like that for a really long time, but recently, I talked to Am I even allowed to say this?
I don't know. Are you?
I talked to the new
Was it?
community manager for Monster Hunter, and
Okay.
I told him that I was interested in a community management job, and
Mm-hmm.
he gave me some pointers, and he basically told me, you know, like you don't need to have like any like college degree or whatever. He was like, as a content creator, what you already do is what we do. So he's like, you kind of already have the experience. You just need to find a way to put that down on the resume, right?
Yeah.
And I did that. I
Yeah.
went to Indeed and I put, it felt weird at first, but I put all that shit in. I put YouTube, I put social media management for Twitch and Facebook. And I kept the retail stuff on there because that's good for like customer service, like dealing with people.
Yeah.
So, just put it on a resume. Just put it on there.
Yeah.
And depending on what you're applying for, you can put more detail into what you've been doing. So, if you've been streaming, just put like stream for 8 years and garnered this amount of followers, and you know, you can do that. You can do that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gotta, and the thing also is finding something in the field that I would actually want to do that like takes a position, you know, other than being the being the face of stuff. I mean, you know, this kind of front facing podcasting, streaming kind of stuff is cool. Again, I'm very much on record. I could not be a full-time streamer anymore. I do not have that in me to keep up with those trends, and care and like be passionate about it. Talking like this though, I could do this, but I think there's a lot of things behind the scenes. I've always been a behind the scenes person. Actually, that's like kind of always been my thing. I like fiddling with stuff and making stuff work in the background. The reason I like continued to stream and do all this stuff is like, if I do all this shit in the background, I got to use it to make sure it works. So then I'd stream to use all this shit that I'd set up and enjoyed setting up and all that kind of stuff. So I totally And a lot of the people who I've known through the platform for a while, I mean, even you, I'm always like super happy to help people set stuff up because like, yeah, I can do all this tech stuff, I can help you, and then you just go talk to people. Like you go do that part. But that's why I like podcasting, because we could do this. I could do all my stuff and I don't have to actually talk to people. They just leave comments or whatever. But yeah, so, finding and looking for something that's, more in the field, but behind the scenes kind of stuff would be really cool. But, just it's all a grind, man. It's all a grind in some way, shape or form. And it's time and grind and time. But yeah, we got some gaming stuff to talk about. Let's talk about some goddamn video games. Where do you want to start? We got Nintendo Switch pack. We got some Cyberpunk stuff. We got some Monster Hunter stuff.
Let's we can start with Cyberpunk.
Get it out the way.
Yeah, we get that out the way first. Start with Cyberpunk.
Okay. So fucking Cyberpunk, it's still swinging. It's trying. That game is still trying. Like, bro, just dead it, man.
Always bad news with this goddamn game.
Just end it, bro. Just cut it. Let's go back to Witcher, man. Where's Witcher 4? Like, just end it. Like, so the game is still not on next gen.
No.
And they delayed their next gen update.
Oh, God, everything's delayed. Fucking expansions, DLC delayed, everything, bro.
The game was delayed.
The actual game was delayed. How you
the
delay
fixes
a game?
Were delayed.
How you delay a game after it goes gold? How do you do that? Like,
oh my God. So yeah, I didn't even know this until I saw this, by the way. I didn't even know it wasn't actually on PS5 and Xbox Series. I was like, what? What do you mean?
It's playable through
backwards compatibility.
Yeah. So
backwards
it's only an
compatibility,
FPS boost. That's it.
Yeah, so I didn't even know that. So this game's running like shit on brand new hardware. It's not even for it. And then that got delayed.
Yo, it's so man. I mean, I feel like in the end it might pay off, but
I don't know, dude. At this point, I'm just like, just end it, bro. Just cut their losses. Just cut them. Cut it loose, man. Hey, look, this game is done.
No, you can't cut shit loose, bro, because I bought this shit twice. So you gonna fix it.
Hey, sometimes we make bad investments, Mike.
Nah, you gonna fix it. All right. No,
sometimes you make bad investments. All right. It happens. I bought Super Mario 3D All Stars, the physical version, because I was like, oh man, this shit's gonna be rare because they're gonna stop selling it. That shit is still fucking $60, man. That shit ain't worth nothing.
What sucks about the thing about Cyberpunk is like we've never had a game like that. That's why.
Like what? As in the gameplay, or to fail this catastrophically?
No. Not the gameplay. We've never had like a Cyberpunk game that was open world. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, the theme, the game itself. Yeah, not the stuff around it. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like, open world Blade Runner or open world Ghost in the Shell. We never had that.
Yeah.
So I think that's why so many people resonate with what the game was trying to do. But it's like the game does have no, it didn't. It did not do it. It's like half. It's like FF 15.
15.
Yeah. It's like 15 is like half masterpiece, half piece of shit. That's what Cyberpunk is, except technically it's worse. Like, it's even worse than that. Because it's like, at least with 15, like, it wasn't that buggy, right?
Yeah.
But with Cyberpunk, it's like, damn, this game
just
is
don't
like...
work.
This game is like... When you play through the story, you're like, this is really good. But then every fucking time, there's always something. Always something. Oh, damn, there's an NPC floating. Damn, I fell through the floor. Damn, there's a hole in the map. There's a hole in the map. There's several holes in the map. Like, all the time. Oh, shit, bro. Wait a minute. Wait, I can't put my gun away. What the fuck is going on? Like, it's just, it's too much, bro. It's too much.
My God. Yeah. And then the hardware that should be able to play it as far as consoles.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to delay that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a mess. And honestly, if it wasn't for you having the passion you did for Cyberpunk, I wouldn't even know or give a shit about any of this news.
Oh my God.
But it's funny to talk about knowing you got a goddamn Cyberpunk hoodie and bought the game twice.
Nah, I bought the game 3 times, actually.
Oh, you didn't have to tell me that. You could have kept that one.
I had to buy Val a copy. She wanted it. So
Yeah, no.
yeah.
No, you didn't have to do that. But with more video games that aren't looking too hot, the fucking Switch Online, at least on initial hour one, wasn't running too hot. How does Nintendo own a game, make a game 20 years ago, 30 years ago, classic, video game staple, some of the most important games of video gaming history? People try to, emulate it or ROMs or whatever. They shut that shit down quick. Hey, if they could make services and apply things as fast as they shut people down trying to pirate their shit, I don't think there'd be a competitive video game scene. Nintendo would have a chokehold on everything. What's crazy is they'd still have a chokehold, but the shit don't work.
That's the...
And look, I'm part of the problem. I'm willing to say it. I bought Switch Online expansion pack the moment it went live. But I did it in a family plan with 8 people. So that's $10 a year. Whatever. Sure, Nintendo. Go right ahead. Here's $10 for the goddamn glitching Mario Kart audio. Here's $10 for Link without a body. barely able to move before the game crashes.
Ooh, the input lag in Ocarina is pretty bad.
Oh my God. Yeah. And it's not even an online game. That's what's crazy. I could see if it was like, all right, there's input lag playing Mario Kart online because it's online and we know how Nintendo's online is. Sure, whatever. Input lag on Star Fox or whatever. All right, cool. But Ocarina of Time that's just the Switch. That's it. I could play Ocarina of Time better on my fucking IBM ThinkPad from 2005 than the Switch can right now, and they're charging for it. It's crazy.
That's sad.
It's crazy. And the thing that's also crazy is the best part about the expansion pack nobody's going to talk about because it's the Sega Genesis games. I played through those and they were great. They ran great. The online felt great. I played Gunstar Heroes with Lavrin. We ran through the whole game in like one sitting basically. And it was fun.
That
no
whole
dropouts.
stream too.
Yeah, there was no dropouts, no nothing. The Genesis experience compared to the 64 experience was fucking night and day.
That's fucking sad, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But the Genesis collection or the games on there also fire. Classics on there. So I'm actually looking more forward to see what Genesis games they add than N64 games because who cares if they add Smash? It's not going to fucking run right.
No, it's not.
It doesn't matter.
It's going to run like shit.
Yeah, so whatever. Just give me all the Sonics, give me all the Streets of Rage, give me some more Sega classics, and then let me have some online with them. Like that's it. That's it. Put Mortal Kombat on. They probably can't do Mortal Kombat because they probably won't let that happen.
Ooh, can we have Pepsi Man?
Oh, Spot or 7 Up. Did you ever play that one?
7 Up. Yes.
7 Up.
Oh,
Yes, that was a Genesis
fire.
game.
Holy
That game was
shit.
really fucking good.
It was.
Yo, there was back then, like advertisement games were actually good. You ever play the Chester Cheetah one?
I did.
There was a Chester the Cheetah game. That game was fucking good. Fucking MC Kids is honestly one of the best NES games. The McDonald's Kids and there's a black kid. There was a black kid.
Oh, I remember the black kid.
Characters.
Yeah, I remember
He had the
him.
high top.
Yeah, the high top, and he
Dude.
had like the green jacket. Like
Yes, dude.
man. I
That was
remember
like,
that.
yo, hold on a second. That game was so good. Oh my, look at that. Yo, you could play as a black kid on an NES game back in the 90s. And it was a good game. It was a fun platformer. Put that on Switch Online. Put
Damn,
that up there.
I miss the 90s. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. That game was awesome. Oh man, this is taking me back. You know, and Nintendo, I might emulate and stream this.
God damn. Remember going to the mall in the 90s? Like,
Yes, dude. The mall was like a field trip, man. You got
word.
your EB games. You got
the
your
toy
your
store, bro.
Yes,
Like-
the Toys R Us. Your Annie Ann's pretzels. Oh,
Yo,
my
remember
God.
what was that store called? Was it PacSun?
Yes,
had, like-
there was
oh, remember-
PacSun. Yeah. The mall used to be different, man. I go to the mall sometimes now, for like one specific thing, and it's dead, man.
It's
What do
not
you
the
go there
same
for?
no
You just
more,
order it all
man.
online.
I know.
There's no
it's not the
need.
same.
I used to go there, just look at shoes, look at hats, just do all that shit on my computer now. Nobody goes there anymore. Yeah, it's different. It's different now. Dude, this kid had the fit. All right, we found the goddamn thumbnail. Oh my, look at him. Look at him.
Oh,
look at the
shit.
high tops.
Damn.
Yo.
Why he look like fucking Will Smith though?
It looked like Will Smith crossed Steve Urkel. Yeah, this game was awesome though. I remember this game, and I played the hell out of it. But yeah, like, it's crazy how the Genesis games run better than the fucking N64 games. But I do think, like, yes, it doesn't make any fucking sense that Nintendo can't emulate their own goddamn games. But at least in my situation, everybody complaining about it is on fucking Twitter, right? So if you're on Twitter, you're complaining to somebody. And if you're complaining about it because you got it, get a goddamn family plan, find 7 other people complaining about it, and pay $10 a year, and you're fine.
But everyone complains on Twitter though, so.
I know. Some of them complainers are spending money. So if you're going to spend money, find another complainer who's also spending
Most
money
of
and
them
save a
are
couple
spending
dollars.
money.
Yeah, find somebody else and save some dollars, because that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm out here saying, hey, Nintendo can't emulate their own fucking games. Yeah, I still pay for it, but at least I'm only spending $10 a year, which is fucking pennies compared to how much it costs for goddamn PlayStation or fucking Xbox online.
Bro, where's Pokemon Stadium at though?
Oh, you know that's gonna be a mess. You know that's gonna be a mess. Because didn't that game have like a couldn't you like connect the Game Boy to it? You could like import your games from Pokemon, right? Mm-hmm. So in Mario Kart 64, you know how there's like the time trials, and you could like save that to a memory pack and like transfer those through the controller. That whatever emulator they're running just has no idea that it's not actual hardware. So you go to do that feature and it just doesn't work. It's just broken. Like you just can't export your time trials or do any like that whole feature, because it's like it looks for a memory card and it's like, wait, this isn't the N64. What's going on? And then the game is just fucked. So you put Pokemon Stadium on there, it's not gonna You even look at that Game Boy menu, that shit's gonna crash.
Damn, man, come on, that's so dumb.
Yeah, it's wild. It's actually wild. But yeah, I think it has potential. And if you're like, oh man, should I get it or not? If you really don't have any true big time nostalgia, and you want to play it handheld, that's really the only thing they got running for it, is that you could play it handheld. Just Google, like 2 seconds. You could just play that shit on your computer and it'll run great. You could probably upscale it, use whatever controller you want. Oh my God. That's the other thing. The controls are awful.
Yeah,
they're
I saw
awful
on your stream. I saw.
Because this N64 controller is like the worst controller in existence.
It has
so
like 20,000 buttons on it.
Yeah, and like 5 handles. It doesn't even make any sense. So like emulating N64 games as far as the controllers is always fucking weird, because nothing. It's basically a controller that has one shoulder button, 2 triggers, and then like 6 face buttons. No normal controller has 6 face buttons and like control sticks. So it's like, and no right analog stick. So it's just fucking weird. Granted, they're trying to figure it out. So like back then it was like whatever, but like now you can't edit the controls in the fucking Switch Online expansion pack. You can't change them. But whatever they put is what it is, and it's garbage. It's weird. Like A and B is just like flopped according to the controller. It's a mess. And I don't think that's gonna change. I don't think they're gonna let us change our controls at any point. I don't see that happening. I'd see them just leaving it the way it is and just adding fucking games to it and saying, leave us alone, you're gonna pay for this.
You can buy the N64 controller, right?
That shit is $50. They are charging $50 for goddamn N64 controller. And that's not the kicker. They're charging $50 for a 3-button D-pad Genesis controller. 3 buttons, a D-pad, start and select, $50. You can find a shitty Switch controller on Amazon for like $15 with 3 times the buttons. That'll probably work for just as long as that thing will.
Oh my God, man. Stupid.
That is something I can't get behind. As much as I love controllers, sorry, Nintendo, fuck off on that one. Not doing that one.
I never buy their like premium remade controllers. No, I'm good.
Yeah, me neither. I love controllers. Believe me, I got a bucket right here. I love controllers, but I can't do that. That's too much. But yeah, that was N64. That was what, Tuesday when that came out. Granted, we did have a lot of fun. It was a mess, but it was fun.
It was Mario Monday.
Kart. That was Monday. Yeah, that was Monday, the 25th, at like 9:00. It was a mess, but I did have a good time. And honestly, that time enough, that was worth $10. I'll take that. It's splitting the thing, and actually it was like prorated, so it was only like $6. Because we already had a family plan, so it only added the difference. It didn't just start over, which was cool. But that single Monday of playing those games that were all fucked up and then playing through Gunstar Heroes, that's worth $6 for me. That was enough. But I think they'll be adding more stuff to it. Honestly, I think the DLC thing is kind of a cool idea. Like they added Animal Crossing is not for me, but they added the Animal Crossing DLC. So if you have the expansion pack, you just get the DLC. And if they keep adding more, like imagine if they add like Smash DLC to that, like that's pretty. Granted, I know Smash Online sucks, but there's people who still play it. And if you're playing it and you don't have any of the DLC, you have the expansion pack, and they add like they slowly add all the character packs to it. The passes, right? The battle passes. What? I think that's a pretty good value. What's up, Mike? What?
The online sucks. It's like no point.
It does suck, but that's what I'm saying. Outside of the online sucking, even if you just wanted to play with all the characters, you just, again, the value for me is when you have a family plan. At $50, it's a really hard sell. $50 a year is a really hard sell. But at a family plan, you're paying $10, $11 to have all the characters. How much? You probably, what was it? How much is each character? Like $5, right?
Yeah.
In Smash?
Yes.
You're probably well into 100 if you're getting every character.
Over 100 probably.
Yeah. So if they like add these battle passes, or each season or whatever it was, it's like 5 characters a season or something.
Pass, right?
Yeah.
Or
if they like
Fighter
add those
Pass.
Fighter Pass, yeah. If they like add that over time to the Switch Online thing, so like you just pick up Smash, you got the expansion pack, and now you got all the characters. That's pretty good value, even for just playing local and offline. Even if you're not using their shitty online service, I think that could be pretty value. Now, what I said makes sense, so that means Nintendo probably won't do it. But we could hope.
Dude, they almost never make sense though.
Yeah. But you know what? we're still on Nintendo. Oh yeah, I haven't talked about Metroid Dread. I played that and beat that. We didn't talk about that last week because we were talking about PSO and all that shit. Something Nintendo did right. Metroid Dread came out, and that game was pretty good. I don't know. Do you play? Have you played any Metroid games?
Yeah, I played
Fusion.
I played Zero Mission. I played some of Fusion, and the one on DS, the Metroid Prime game.
Samus Returns. Oh.
No, it was the Prime
DS.
one.
No, there was. Yeah. I know which one you're talking about. I don't remember what it was called, but I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, so that's more than me actually. I've only played Super Metroid, Samus Returns, and now this one. Well, and Other M. I played it with my buddy who was playing it. So I basically played Other M. I watched through the whole game. So yeah, I've only played a few of them, and like Samus Returns that's like the remake of 2 that was on the 3DS. But Metroid Dread was good. I enjoyed it. It was a fun game to go through and play. I know there was obviously angry gamers like, oh, you're charging $60 for this, and it's like $60 for a platformer. That part is like, you're stupid. Whatever, the format of the game is whatever. But $60 for 8 hours, I could kind of understand somebody being like, I don't know, it's kind of rough. I could see that. Especially if you just play it once and then you're done, which is exactly how I played it. I have no desire to 100% or speed run or find all that. I have no desire to do that shit.
But
I just played it.
You wouldn't play it again though, like in the future?
I never replay games though. I've said that here before. I very rarely replay games. Like I'm replaying World, and even then I'm not really replaying it because I'm using Ice Mod, so it's like kind of different still. And I mean, I guess I replayed it on a different platform, but like that's a different situation. That's like, it's a different platform. I'm not playing the exact same game again. Yeah, I never really replay games. I've been thinking about replaying Sekiro because that's like, I think one of the greatest games that ever exists. But again, I think it's one of the greatest games that ever exists. So yeah, it's worth a replay. But I don't really ever replay games. That's why I've never done a Dark Souls Plus run. Ever. I've never done that. A new save, new game plus. And that's like a thing, but I just don't care to replay it. So
I replayed some of my favorite games at least several times.
I don't know. Like, I play a game, and if it's like a one-shot game, like something that's, like an MMO or, Monster Hunter or PSO, like you can play that endlessly. But if it's just like one and done, here's the experience, you play through it and you're done, like, I don't know, it's like cool. It's like movies for me. Like, I don't rewatch movies.
I watch a movie. Thing. I rewatch movies.
Yeah, like I watch a movie and I'm like, all right, cool, I'm done, I'll go do something else. It's just like if I'm gonna rewatch a movie or replay a game, I could just play a new game and like have a different experience. Like I've already had that experience, and it's not like nobody should ever replay games. It's just like for me, I'm just like I get it. I'm cool. So on that front, I get the $60 being kind of rough for Metroid Dread. Because if you just play it once, like I think I take pretty long with games, and I beat it in like 9 hours. So like, if you're like on top of your shit and you're like, all right, yeah, sure, boom, 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 like you're probably done in like 6 hours. It's like that's kind of rough for $60, but you know, it all depends on the type of player, and then the whole thing of emulation with it. Now that that's kind of settled down, I feel like it's a little okay to talk about. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. All right, I bought the game. I went to Walmart, bought it. I emulated the fuck out of that game. I used my fucking big old beefy ass graphics carded up GPU, played that shit at 1440p, constant 60 frames. It enhanced my experience. I had a much better time than if I played that shit on a Switch. I was watching streams, watching people play it on Switch, and I was like, that looks like booty. I'm sorry. No, that looks like crust. I'm gonna play this high resolution. I wanted to play it in high frame rate, but the game doesn't work. The game's broken.
It
so like,
it?
Well, so it doesn't like actually break it, as in you can't physically play the game, but mechanics don't work right. So like in the beginning of the game, when they first show the Emmy thing, that, you know, the thing the dread that you're chasing, they let you parry it, and then you're supposed to slide under it and get away and keep running. When I first started playing the game, I had it at like 144 frames because I could run it at that. And you slide under it and you just instantly die. You just die. Because the game's not supposed to be running at that high frame rate. And I didn't know that. So I was like, I kept doing that part over and over. And I was like, I know people were saying this game's hard, but like, it really is that hard? Like, I'm just trying to slide under this guy. I just keep dying. And then like, so if you slide far enough, you literally just like explode. Like you just die, like you lost all your health. But if you like slide a little bit like later, the Emmy just immediately turns around and fucking grips you and then fucking kills you, which is not supposed to happen.
Is the default frame rate 30?
It's 60. So when I played at 60, I mean, I don't know if it runs at 60 on the Switch. I think most people were saying it does, but its native frame rate is 60. So it was nice. Yeah. I think if it was native 30, I would have turned it off. I think I wouldn't have did it. But yeah, it's native frame rate 60. Because I mean, it's not that visually intense. I think it's a very gorgeous game though. It's not visually intense, but it is visually impressive, especially when I'm playing it at 1440.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, I mean, it's been out long enough. I don't fucking care about spoilers now. But like, you get the fucking crazy beam. You look like a Metroid, and you're just, yeah, it's cool. It's a very pretty game. The game is gorgeous, and it was a lot of fun.
Oh, Sam is screaming for like 8 minutes straight.
Oh yeah, that was actually scary to me. I was like, is that her? Like, is that her screaming? Like, it's not like she was, I mean, I'm sure she was in pain. She's being like fucking, you know, fused with a Metroid or some shit. But it was like, that was scary to me, hearing her actually scream like that. Yeah, I mean, even you play her in Smash, you don't hear that. You don't hear her scream like that. But that was cool. It was cool. I couldn't Shine Spark everything to death, so that kind of annoyed me. I just want to fucking Shine Spark and just shoulder bash through everything. Wait a minute. Why is there no Shine Spark in Smash? You can't do that in Smash. I don't ever remember there being a move or like anything where Samus Shine Sparks. What the fuck? Man, fuck that game. How does she not have a Shine Spark in Smash?
Because Smash sucks, bro.
That's fucked up.
Also,
never
Sora's
even realized
broken.
Yeah.
Are you surprised?
Yeah, so So yeah, Metroid Dread's cool. I emulated the fuck out of it. If you want to emulate it, buy the game. Don't be a piece of shit. But who cares if you emulate it as long as you buy it? Yeah, Sora's broken. I didn't know we were gonna talk about that, but I mean, I've seen some clips. His neutral attack in the air. If you're a big character, you're just dead.
Yeah, it's really good. But, I wouldn't fully know because I'm not playing it. So
Yeah, I'm not playing it either. I've just been seeing clips and stuff. Busted. Yeah, broken.
and I see videos on YouTube. Sora needs a big change. Sora's broken. Like,
yeah. So yeah, Sora's busted. But yeah, I think now I had Facebook Meta on here, but like whatever. Other than the memes that are coming out of it, fucking whatever, dude. Facebook's just gonna keep doing shit to make a bunch of money. And I had the Twitch boosting thing on here, which is just another scam for Twitch to make more money. Nobody in the right mind is doing this. I actually have a really awesome idea, but I'm not even gonna say it on the pod yet until I do it. And I don't know why I never thought of it before, but if you're thinking about subbing to me on Twitch and you haven't yet, hold your $5. I might have a better way to do it. Hold your $5. But we can get to the juice because we got a handful of so like, oh man, it's been almost an hour and they haven't talked about Monster Hunter yet. Well, we're gonna change that right now. There's been a decent amount of Monster Hunter stuff to happen this week. Or maybe, I guess between last week and this week, because we didn't really talk about it too much last year.
last year?
Yeah, last year. So for last week, World hit 20 million, which is pretty cool. We like slightly mentioned that, but we didn't really get into it. That is huge. That is insane. Like, it's the biggest selling Capcom game, right? Like, single game.
Yep.
It passed Street Fighter 2, which is nuts, right? Because way more people know Ryu than they know Rathalos.
Yeah.
Way more, right? So that is insane for a single Monster Hunter game to beat Street Fighter, which is
what's funny? I always thought that Mega Man was like. I always thought it was like a seller. It's not.
He used to be, not anymore, man. After like, I think it's because Mega Man just started to spread too thin as far as like versions, right?
Well,
like,
because
when we were younger, it was like just Mega Man, and then we got X, and then we got Zero, and then we got Battle Network, and then we got Legends, and then we got ZX, and then we got all this shit.
They're pretty much
like, well, what's Mega Man now?
They Shin Megami Tensei Mega Man, pretty much, where they created a whole goddamn multiverse of Mega Man stuff. So.
Yeah, and then it just spread I'm sure it picked up new people here and there, but like, as far as just like, I just love Mega Man. It's like, all right, well, which Mega Man do you like? Do you like classic Mega Man? Do you like X? Do you like Zero? Do you like?
If you tell someone you like Battle Network, they're gonna look at you weird. Unless they like Battle Network.
What the fuck is a Battle Network? Yeah. Unless you already like it, which if you know it, that's probably because you like it.
Exactly.
I mean, what the fuck is that? Like, only people that know Battle Network are people who like it. So you should be like, what the fuck is that game? So yeah, I think Mega Man used to be like, I feel Mega Man and Ryu, like they were kind of there. And then Mega Man like kind of just went off, and then Ryu just stayed. And I feel like he is still the closest to the face of Capcom. But I don't know, man. Rathalos is kind of creeping. People know Rathalos now.
I would say in Japan, Monster Hunter is the face of Capcom.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
In Japan, it's a completely different story.
Here, I would say Street Fighter is the face of Capcom here.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But in Japan, it's definitely been. You could just say fucking Greatsword. People are like, yes.
Monster Hunter? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But But that's huge, man. And I know we mentioned it a few episodes back. I mean, say PVC Pod maybe called it. A few episodes back, we were talking about how important World is and how I think a lot of times it doesn't. I mean, I feel like a lot of times it, especially with when Rise first came out, World didn't get all the respect it probably should have. But this 20 million just kind of solidified, like, hey, look, this game is really fucking important. It's huge. I still can't get over. I was at Aldi grocery shopping. This was when World recently came out. And I had my World shirt on. And a random dude walked up to me in Aldi and was like, do you play Monster Hunter? And it blew my fucking mind. Like, Heather was there with me. My jaw like dropped because I was just like, wait a minute, this is just a random dude. And I'm like I'm in the suburbs. I'm not like in a, heavily, city, a lot of people area. So I was like, I feel like I'm the only person in this fucking 3-city area that plays Monster Hunter. So, yeah, this is just a random guy just in Aldi was like, oh man, you play Monster Hunter? I love that game. And I was just like, holy shit, this is crazy. Like, that's how I knew, like, then World was something different.
Like, it was interesting living through what World did for Monster Hunter. Like, yeah. It's like to the point where so many streamers that I would never think would play Monster Hunter played World. Like,
dude, I remember like seeing so many people play Monster Hunter, even people who've like tried like older ones. Like one of them for me is like Man vs. Game. Like he tried like I think 3U maybe, and he was like, this is fucking dog shit. This fucking sucks. I hate this. And I was like, and the thing is, like, when it's classic Monster Hunter, I can't blame anybody for not liking it because it's pretty convoluted.
It's clunky and convoluted.
Yeah. Like, I can't really ever blame somebody for not really getting into it. And then he, like, played World and, like, got through the whole game and, like, loved it. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, it, like, blew my mind. And there was, like, so much of that with that game, especially with it being on PC. Like, that alone was just, like, massive of just, like, with streaming. You can just stream it. You just download the game and you play it. You don't need a capture card. You don't gotta get a subscription to play it online. You don't gotta do any of that stuff. You just buy it on Steam, play it on a computer, boot up OBS.
You almost needed a sub though. They were considering it for Japan. Anyway.
Oh, for World?
Yeah.
Really?
They were considering.
I never knew that.
They were literally like thinking, like considering making a sub fee for the Japanese audience, which.
Oh my god!
It's like you gotta pay PS Plus and a sub fee. Like you bugging.
This would be a very different story if they did that.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't, because like what the fuck?
Yeah, this would be a very, very different story. But yeah, so World hit 20 million sales last week, which is huge, massive. I don't know what Rise hit, but it's doing very well.
I think
it has done well.
7.5 million.
Which is nuts for a game that came out in March and it's only November, basically. That's still really crazy. Despite what all the hardcore Monster Hunter gamers are saying about it, including myself, Rise is a good game and it's doing very well, which is awesome. Speaking of which, they got a couple video game award nominations. They got the
Golden Joystick.
Oh, yeah, Golden Joystick. They were nominated for Nintendo Game of the Year, which is pretty cool, seeing as how it's not a first-party game, and Nintendo first parties are the heavy hitters. It's listed with like Metroid Dread. What else is listed on there? Yeah, fucking new Pokemon Snap. WarioWare. What? Why is that on there? All right. Neo: The World Ends With You, which I really got to play through that game. And Bravely Default 2, which is Square Enix, but I feel like that's just like a Nintendo IP at this point. Is that game on anything else besides Nintendo stuff?
No.
Yeah. I know it's Square Enix, but yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty.
Yeah.
pretty strong listing. So it's awesome to see Rise up there. But the one that had the timeline in awry, the gamers in awry, was the Monster Hunter Rise for best game community. So, you know, whenever Monster Hunter community is brought up, the whole community got to talk about what they think about it. Unwarranted. And we're in there too, right here. So folks made some videos talking about, is Monster Hunter toxic? You being one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I had to do it. Like,
yeah, see, so I'm saying you mentioned
like
you mentioned community and Monster Hunter, and the community is gonna start Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter community is gonna start community and talking about it. So a whole lot of talk I saw was about whether Monster Hunter community is toxic and all that kind of stuff.
You know what's funny is the video I made, there were a lot of people that didn't like it.
Why?
Because apparently I went all over the place. When I clearly said at the beginning, I'm going to split this in 2 parts. One, I'm going to talk about my general thoughts on the community. And then 2 is my personal issues with the community. So I don't really... How can you be confused?
Well, people don't listen or read. I watched the video. I watched yours and Cups. I think they were both pretty good videos. But yeah, I think... I feel you can't, it's not that you can't, it's very rare that somebody gets into Monster Hunter without a source of community, right? Like the game is kind of built around that. My first experience with it, my friends were playing Freedom Unite on their PSP, and I'd always see them playing it together and hear the music and everything, but I didn't have a PSP. So then Try came out, and they all got it. We all got them. We were playing, and they were teaching me stuff. And like that right there, that's community. That's what makes Monster Hunter so Monster Hunter. And the game has been built on that. Since I've been playing, at least. And from the people I know that's been playing since PS2, it's a lot of the same thing. So as much as... I can't even say as much. I say as much as the topic is brought up about Monster Hunter community being toxic, I don't think it ever really is as a whole. Every community has toxic people in it. That's just life. The video games, the workplace, fucking anything. It's just toxic people in every community. But I always think Monster Hunter has an overall pretty good community and something that is worthy of a nomination like that. That's always the best parts of me playing Monster Hunter, especially in my early days before I like got relatively good at the game. It was just playing with other people and learning stuff from other people and hanging out and them showing me like, oh, if you pick up the egg, then Rathian's going to come back here, so you don't have to chase it. It's like, oh, cool. If you take Sword and Shield to bury off, he's a lot much easier of a fight over, you know, like Longsword or something. Like you can keep up with him. It's like all that kind of stuff. Like,
man, fuck, baby.
Learning. But like learning those kind of things, it's all like community stuff, and I think that's huge. And it's really cool that I think Monster Hunter's on that list. And I know you had your video, but how do you feel about the community overall?
You know what's funny is that the next podcast I'm going to be on, we're going to be talking about that. That's funny. I think the community is fine overall. I mean, if you discount Twitter. But if you're counting Twitter, I fucking hate you motherfuckers. Like, I can't stand y'all. Y'all don't understand sarcasm or nothing. Like,
see, that's the thing, right? When they say community, like we've already said, like Twitter's not a real place. Like it's not real. When they say community, I feel like that's referring to the real place. And by that, I mean when you're in the fucking game. And so rarely do I come across shitty people in the game. Like when I'm actually playing the game. It's like totally not that, like I'm not going to say it never happens. It definitely has happened before. But in my almost over a decade of playing the game, nowhere near that often do you come across somebody who's just fucking terrible and is like, I'm never gonna actually play this game again. Frequent enough to where you're like, I'm never gonna play it again. Like I said, you'll maybe once every fucking few weeks or something, or you might come across somebody. But again, Twitter is not real. That's why I just lie on it sometimes, because it's just not
fake.
fucking real. Yeah. So like people will say shit on Twitter and then it never actually comes to fruition because it's not fucking real. So I think when it comes to the real place, and I mean, I guess you could say that is the community, but I don't know. When I think of the community, I think of the people I'm around when I'm actually fucking playing the game. And that community is pretty good. And is, a lot of it is what keeps me playing the game now, even still. That's like what encourages me to be replaying the game right now when I'm playing through Ice. Like when I have other people to play with, I'm more inclined to boot up Ice and do some hunts in it, as opposed to just playing it by myself. It's just as fun, but again, that community is what like draws me to replaying the game right now. So I think it's pretty good, and it's awesome that it's up here. But it's gonna lose because 14's in here, so
Exactly.
So doesn't fucking matter because 14 is Final Fantasy 14. None of these other games matter. Magic the Gathering, sorry. Destiny 2, no. Dreams, why? No Man's Sky, sorry. Final Fantasy 14 is gonna win this because it's fucking Final Fantasy 14, and that community is beyond next level.
They
Apex.
are so wholesome that it's disgusting.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
So that will easily win that vote. But it is cool to see Monster Hunter up there, and I think it is a worthy community. If this was only in Japan, I think it'd be a close thing between those two, between 14 and Monster Hunter. But you throw everywhere else into the mix, and 14's winning that easily. But yeah, so that was the other. And that was last week. So this week, we had some more Monster Hunter stuff. Couple things actually. So they added some ethnic hairs to Monster Hunter Rise, which is pretty cool. They added the blowout fro. They added the fade, the high top curly herny fade. And then they added the cornrows with the hang time. That's the thing. They wasn't no babies. There was no baby bitties back there.
They kind of
He had the hang time. Yeah, it was on the neck. And that was pretty cool. I think most people were pretty excited about that. I'm trying to remember.
I mean, except
most people. Most.
I prefer monsters, actually.
Yeah, there's always some. Again, the place is not real. I bet you that person is still playing Rise. They boot up the game and they don't even fucking think about the fact that those hairs are in the game at all.
No,
Twitter's not fucking real. But yeah, so it's pretty cool. I'm trying to remember if there were ethnic hairs in World, because I always just get fucking Sonic Spike hair, so I don't remember. I think there was, other than the afro. The afro has been like a Monster Hunter staple.
Yeah.
So like, I don't remember. Well, I mean, there's the dreads from the dreads and braids from the research lady.
Oh yeah.
But I'm trying to remember if there was like other stuff. Or if this is like a Monster Hunter first.
Iceborne had dreads.
Okay. But I think these cuts specifically are like a Monster Hunter first.
Most of them, yeah. They did have the Henry haircut in Iceborne though.
That's that one. They had the fade, yeah. But the blowout and the cornrows, pretty cool. Yeah, that's new and that's cool. And I think it's cool that they're adding that stuff. And again, it's going to look great on PC. And I'm pretty sure we're getting all this stuff day one.
Ooh, wee. Damn.
Speaking of more stuff we got, they also dropped a armor set. Chad had some gamers' panties in a bunch. I just watched your video on that today when I was eating my chicken. They added a guild cross set to basically allow you to get through low rank, but like there's no offensive skills on it. Are there even defensive skills on it?
Barely. I mean, no, actually, no, there isn't.
It's just gathering skills, right?
It's a glorified gathering set with a little extra defense.
Yeah. And they added that for new players, which I think is awesome. I'm always for this kind of stuff because Monster Hunter is the kind of game where you can play it however the fuck you want. That's the beauty of the game. You could literally play through the whole game using one weapon and no armor and fight every single monster that everybody else has fought. And there's nothing stopping you from doing that. That's part of the beauty of Monster Hunter, is that you can do that. So I think it's cool. And it's the guild cross set, which like aesthetically looks fucking awesome. I think it looks it's one of the best looking armors. Is that an old set or is that from World and Sense?
It's from World.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I mean, I know it was in World and it looks awesome.
I know the Guardian one is actually the guard set from Dundorma. That's been around since MH2, if you really go back.
The Guardian one, yeah. But the Guild Cross is new. But I think it looks awesome. It's a cool looking set. It's got a cape. You give me a cape and I'm set. Granted, I haven't booted up the fucking game because
I hope we get more capes in Sunbreak.
Yeah, I hope so. We have to, man. Malzina's a goddamn vampire. Dracula. We got to get more capes. Yeah, the whole theme of that. And it's like Western, like medieval theme. That's like Game of Thrones capes. And yeah, we got to get more capes. There better be capes on every other armor set in that game. But yeah, so gamers are mad. I made a little tweet about it. Fucking been going off for whatever reason. I didn't even really say much. I was just like, look, people playing the game however the fuck they want. Who cares? Like if somebody bought the game and they're playing it and they enjoy it, that's a win. That's literally it. So, and if this set is here from day one on Rise, I think that's pretty cool. Or sorry, on PC. I think that's pretty cool because people are going to be replaying it. If you're playing it for your first time, you could just not use it. If you're replaying this game because you're coming from Switch, like a lot of us will be, here you go. You can save some crafting in low rank. Save a little bit of work because it's not going to mean anything once you get to high rank. Which is pretty cool. I think it's a cool set. And yeah, I hope this is like a standard through the series that they release these kind of sets to kind of.
It might be at this point.
Yeah, I hope it's a thing. Like I hope when we get Sunbreak, they give us like a high rank set to kind of just help people get into it. Because that's always like a thing. That's always been a thing with Monster Hunter. Because it's a game that lasts for so long. So when somebody new tries to get into it with somebody who's been playing forever, it's just like it's such a struggle on both ends. Because the person who's been playing forever has to go through and do all this shit that like is like whatever. And then the person who's new is like going through the shit that they don't really care about because they just want to get caught up enough to play with the new person or the old person. So like this stuff just kind of cuts some of that buffer out the way. So I'm all for it. I'm excited about it. And it's layered, so looks good. And I was watching your video and you were out here using SNS, looking all fancy, doing your uppercuts and shit. And I was like, he's making me want to fucking boot this game up. I almost want to boot up.
I was beating the shit out of a Rathian, like real bad. Like
again,
I'm the Rathian Slayer. Like
again, killing a Rathian, but I almost was like, man, this Rathian slaying make me want to slay a Rathian, man. He got the uppercut, he got the back cops, and it's not charge blade, so he's not whiffing at all. He's connecting every single damn hit.
Yeah, and getting the uppercuts with the roar. Oof.
Yeah. Do we have the uppercut in the demo? I might play some PC demo today.
Nope, we don't. We only have a
mind.
windmill.
Never mind.
Never mind.
Never mind. That was short lived. Yeah. So I think I'm still excited for PC release. I'm really excited to play it on the damn Steam Deck. Oh man, they showed they've been tweeting. There's an account, a Steam on Deck or Games on Deck or something, where it's like it's Valve tweeting out different games running on the Steam Deck, and they showed DMC5, and that's RE Engine, and that's Capcom, and it was running butter, clean
butter. Was it 60?
And that's a. It looked like it was 60. I mean, Twitter compression, so who fucking knows? But it looked like it was 60. It didn't look 30. And it looked visually clean. I mean, DMC5 is a beautiful game anyway. It was looking good. Nero was doing his thing. Frame rates were clean. Rise is gonna. I cannot wait to side by side Switch Rise and Steam Deck Rise.
Switch Rise is gonna look like Vaseline covered bullshit.
Oh, the difference is gonna be night and day, and I'm gonna dock them too. I'm gonna dock them next to each other and see what that looks like too. Oh man, I can't wait. I can't fucking wait. I'm so excited for goddamn Steam Deck. It's probably been every episode where I've mentioned Steam Deck, and I'm gonna continue to mention it at least until I get it. Probably more after I get it.
It's almost here.
Almost. It says it starts in December, but my order says Q1 2022. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe some people bail out and are like, nah, I ain't buying that shit. So I get mine earlier. Maybe. I hope. Goddamn, I cannot wait for it. I cannot wait for the goddamn Steam Deck. But I think that we'll wrap it up. Well, not completely. We got questions. We got at least one question. Where is it at? Oh, we gotta find it. So at the end of the pod, we take some questions. Whether you folks leave them in either the comments or you tweet any of us. Oh, right on time. Bam, you can tweet us right there.
Ooh.
Or you can leave them in my Discord. And at the end of the pod, we take those questions and then we answer. So let me find. I know we had one from last week related to something we talked about this week, because I knew we weren't going to talk about it then. So this one is from Rodin, and on the topic about Metroid Dread and its emulation. So what he said is why are emulators and media seen as an illegal act and should be looked down on? And should it be told openly that a new game is emulatable days after its release, or should like a month pass, then you can say to emulate it? So that's kind of in reference for when Dread came out. Kotaku made like an article saying like, you can emulate Metroid Dread right now. And people were like pissed off because it was like, dude, this game just came out. Like people should be buying it, not just stealing it. And then they like tried to edit their article to make it sound kind of. So my opinion of it is they're seen as illegal because the act of emulating isn't illegal, but the act of how you get the game is what it is, right? Because 99% of people who are emulating are not dumping the game from their own physical games.
Hell
they're
no.
They're going to a website and you just download it. It's just easier on it. Even if you do own it, it's just easier to just find a download online than dump it from your own physical hardware. And that's the illegal part, right? And then as far as should it be told openly that you can emulate it, I think as a gaming site like Kotaku that has that much reach, the way they did it was kind of because I mean, from a science aspect, this is science. This is fucking science and technology. It's pretty cool that this game just came out and you could play it on different hardware. From a technological standpoint, that's really cool. And I understand why that would be exciting to talk about. But I feel as a responsibility as a gaming outlet to share information with people, especially gamers who are so entitled over fucking everything and are going to try to get shit for free when they can. Maybe should have waited a little bit to put that out.
I feel like Nintendo could benefit from dumping hardware. That way you could...
What do you mean?
Like, to dump your own ROMs. And then, so look, Nintendo could make an official emulator. You have to buy the dumping software. And then you're encouraged to buy the physical copies. Or you can buy them digital on a storefront and play them on your PC. Like,
Nintendo does not want to see anything they own on a fucking PC. They do not want to see it. Never. There's a reason their first party games look like gold on the Switch and third party things look like a fucking crusty raisin. There's a reason. Because they are the only people that know how to use their, well, kind of only people that know how to use the hardware outside of fucking Switch Online. They can't even emulate their own shit. They're the only ones who make that hardware look the way it does. You put it on PC, everybody's shit's gonna look good. Can't have that, then why are you gonna buy Hyrule Warriors? Granted, that game runs like shit on Switch anyway, but yeah, I wish they would think that way, but no way. No way. The closest we're getting is Switch Online to accessing old shit in 2021. That is the closest we're getting. Nintendo, we are never going to see, we can mark this down or something. We are never going to fucking see Mario officially on a Steam. We're never going to see that.
Damn, that just sounds weird.
Exactly. That is never going to happen. I do not ever see Nintendo doing that. And I mean, we've been in video games for a pretty long time now. Our whole life, basically. That's 30 plus years. It's never happening. They're not doing it. And I mean, hey, maybe people are like, oh, we'll never see God of War on PC. Nah, it's a little bit different. It's a little different. When people say video games who don't know video games, they think of Nintendo. Like, that's the company that comes to mind. And Nintendo knows that. And they will never let their shit be on other platforms. Which is why people work so hard to emulate it. Like, it's like people have like a vendetta against Nintendo. And I don't blame them. Because, you know, I'm not, you know, well, I'm not going to incriminate myself or anything. Allegedly, I may benefit from those
fuck
actions.
This. Back in fucking 2011, bro, all I did was play emulated Nintendo games, bro. Like I
remember when I found out I could emulate them on my phone. I had every goddamn Pokemon, bro. All of them.
There was a period in my life where I played a bunch of like Pokemon ROM hacks, like for about a whole year. That's all I was doing when I was playing games. Pokemon ROM hacks, like, man.
Yeah. And that's why Nintendo will just never do it. And it's like a vicious cycle. Like game emulator developers and all that kind of stuff are like, no, we're going to make this shit fucking work. And then Nintendo's like, well, look, they're going to make this shit work. We're never going to fucking put it over there. So it's like, it's never going to end. So I don't ever see Nintendo doing it. But I think as a responsibility, maybe as a gaming outlet, you probably could have waited a bit, because I'm sure that probably hurt their sales a bit. And this was like a huge Nintendo game that people were really looking forward to, that thought never was going to happen. Like, maybe if it was like Super Mario Odyssey, like, fucking whatever, dude. That game's going to sell like hotcakes no matter what. Like, it's fucking Mario. Who cares? But like Metroid Dread, it's kind of like a B tier, even C tier Nintendo title or Nintendo franchise at this point. And I'm sure they probably need every dollar they can to make another one. And especially since everybody's loving it, right? The game is doing very well. So I would have maybe held that for a month and been like, oh, now it looks like it can be emulated.
But Kotaku needs the clicks now.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And that's where we land.
That's why they make dumb articles, because it gets attention.
Yeah. Yeah. And there were some parts in there in the original where they were like, thank God for pirates. And I was like, that ain't it. You can't.
Yeah, I mean, no, I get. See, out of context, it's easy to take that out of context. But what they were saying
when I read the whole article, I get it.
Yeah.
But like, it's it's going to be taken out of context.
Of course.
That's your workplace. You know that's going to happen. So it's like, he could have held that one. Could have shelved that one for a little bit. Because I even like now, right? It's been like 2 weeks. I think even if they came out with that article right now, people wouldn't be as up in arms about the whole idea. Like the game's already being put up for awards and everything. Granted, that's happening anyway, even though that came out, which means people are still buying it. And it's doing well. But yeah, I think I would have probably held it. But hey, then with the clicks, and I can't blame anybody who's trying to get paid. So it is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. But I think that will that'll wrap up the pod. I know it was a little bit of a short one. Mike's got another pod to do. Pod boy podding it up on a podder day. So yeah, I think that will wrap it up. We will be back next week. I think it'll just be us. We'll just be chilling. We'll probably have a little bit, maybe a longer pod. It'll just be us. And we will see y'all next time. Have a good one, y'all. Bye.
Peace.
Bye.